How's that?
Hey, here.
Can you hear okay? Yeah.
Can you hear us okay, Howard?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear. Everybody ready? Yep. Right. Okay, we're gonna start the special meeting of the town of Salem. It's 4:07 and I'm gonna go, I'm Super Town Supervisor.
And today is 26th of March.
Highway Superintendent Travis Keys.
Town Council Tom McMorris.
Kathy Chambers for the town council. Okay. So we're here to discuss the town office and the occupancy, the length of it. As you know, I know we can't go in there. So the town still has special duties to perform, which are town clerk, depositing, picking up mail, tax collection, and all the other things that have to happen within town business. So the town office, we can go, Chris Jones told me we could go in, we should not go in by ourselves. You should go in with two people at a time and not stay in there for any length of time. Everything is shut off. It's not, propane is shut off, the unit is shut off. The information that's been sent to Chris Jones the same time we all got it. I did get another text from the landlord saying, why didn't you contact me? And my response was, you received the occupancy closure at the same time I did. So I just left it at that. At this point, I'm ready to let the attorney handle the letter and we'll talk about that later in executive session. But at this point, we've got a few options. The water barn could be here with Pat, being here and the town office being here temporarily. We all had a chance to look at Don McPhee's building. And the other thing I got a call from yesterday is Laura and Pete Dunham had reconsidered the offer for Laura's garden space. That amount, you got the information on Don McPhee's, right? Everybody got that information?
Yep.
Okay, so for Pete and Laura's, I looked at it this morning and it would be $800 a month and it would include utilities except for internet, garbage, pickup, and any other expenses incurred. It's a larger space. Planning board could hold their meetings there. Town board could hold their meetings there. There's place for files. And Don McPhee's. It could work, but it would be a
So you
tight
need
fit.
to slow down, she's having issues here.
I mean, Don McPhee's is available. It would work, but it would be a tight fit. You don't have to go into all the other stuff. Laura, and both of them, thank you very much to Don and to Laura and Pete, who the offers. Laura and Pete's is $800 a month. And includes utilities.
Yeah, big thing is it includes heat.
Yeah, exactly. And it's large enough where it could serve as most of our functions, except for justice.
So that includes electricity too, you said. Okay.
Yeah, so it does, what it doesn't include is internet, garbage pickup, and any other expenses. So, so that's also. It's also got municipal parking right there.
Yeah.
So people could park in the municipal parking space. And probably come around to the front door.
Could put a ramp in the back.
But that, yes, and that would be something that we'd have to think about.
Yeah.
But Pete's open to that.
I checked into internet, changing our link over to that building. It would cost about $400. Just so.
So what we could do is, think about this. Pete is willing to show you the space so that you can go look at it if you want. The other thing Travis and I talked about is bringing it over into here. But I think that would end up hiring Willie Lemondahl and
Definitely.
so in both of the spaces, there are receptacles, which would be a big change from what we're used to. Any other questions on any of those?
In the Dawn building, is that lease or is that once we'll need it this month, next month, then we leave?
Yes.
Fine.
No, they're only, in fact, they are, I said, we're not in a position to sign a lease.
Right.
Okay, and so, they are willing to allow us to use it until we figure out what we're doing, which is very nice of them. So, Howard, do you have any questions on any of that? I know it's a lot.
No, I see what everybody wants to do, I guess.
Yeah.
I,
Go
I
ahead,
mean-
begin. Now we can hear you. What's that?
right now, I think that, without Laura's, I mean, Don's is cheaper until we figure out what's gonna happen with the office as far as that lease. I mean, $450 a month is cheaper than 800. Cause if we're stuck in two leases or paying two places,
Don's does not include heat, although he's donating the
he's offered us
fuel in the tank.
first, the full tank, which ought to get us through into warm weather.
Yeah, sure.
It seems like, all things considered.
Yeah.
This will be the main, to me, the main thing is to get through next week. The taxes, right? Isn't that well, I mean, that's where the crunch is right now. We have to have some place for people to be able to pay their taxes. So it seems like.
I went today and going tomorrow.
Yeah.
Calls are coming to the house. Gotta have a program, doing taxes. There's no other way I can do it. I have to run a program to show the unpaid. If I don't enter the paid, I don't get the unpaid.
Right, so the idea is to bring your computers up here, hook them up, and so that you have someplace to work and someplace that calls will come to.
It would be in this area? No.
No,
It'd be out there.
out there, so you gotta get Willie up here.
It's, I'm weird.
Well, could she temporarily use this space here, Travis?
I mean, if it was different,
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because this would be an easy setup here. And there's the connections right there for the internet, so.
are we going back in the office? Like, I think that's the whole key that nobody's talking about here.
Well, I think we have to have an executive session discussion about that, so we have other
It's
information.
intense to have that, the guy that came in last Saturday with the new one said, this is a temporary, will not have this. My instructions are to rebuild the old one and put it back in here. He does not care that it can't go back in there. And if that happens, I am resigning. I am not working in there with those kind of units. I went to the doctor today and waiting for they tell me to stay. The neighbors.
No vote. I lobbied for Laura's building for over 2 years. This situation ain't gonna get no better where we are. Regardless of what anybody thinks.
He doesn't do anything.
So I guess what is our this plan? Right, the one that's,
You mean in the water barn?
no, just this plan, like whatever this is, like where do we,
Are we talking about moving for 2 weeks or 2 months?
or where's the permanent place going to be?
Right.
I guess, and then work
Right,
backwards.
I think, because right now you have two things going on. You got an immediate need and a
Right.
long-term need, like you're saying. So the immediate need seems to me that doesn't cost us anything or much. Move in here. Make it so you can function here. Then and then it will give us time, because obviously we have to have more of a discussion with the lawyer about these things. And see exactly what our options are.
Don't do anything, so you can't do anything. Matt's thing was don't do anything till I talk to you.
Exactly, and so that's what I'm saying, but we need to do
I don't think-
something. Short term.
Well,
Now, we can short term, we could set Pat's computer up right here, the internet's right there. But I would say if it's gonna be longer than, till next week, I would say then we need to look at other options, like maybe, like you said, have more electricity out there. You'd have to run an internet cable out there, that kind of stuff.
Well, people would come up here to pay water bills, so they're not gonna come up here to pay tax bills.
Howard, you're trying to say something?
I don't think, and realistic, by the time we get Matt to make a decision and decide, we aren't gonna be back into the original office for a month, is my guess,
If that.
you know?
Exactly, so that's,
So
You got-
I don't think Travis is gonna want us in that office where you guys are standing for a month.
right, well, I know it's gonna be an inconvenience for private.
Well, it's more safe, exactly what he should be in the. There's still offered out there.
Well, maybe,
Somebody spills a drink,
Yeah.
something happens.
maybe,
When we go. With,
No different. from my either.
I know.
Fees. Oh. At least a month, but I don't think it's one of those. And then maybe Matt can get his rank out of this lease and never go back. That would save us moving here for a week or a month. And also, what about a laptop or pad?
So that way we can have the application set up. So that, you know, it has something on the,
I don't think about computers, so I.
that they can,
What do you guys?
that,
That isn't gonna work by toothpick, so.
Right.
yeah, I mean, the trouble is, it's like, you gotta do something now. So, I mean, if you can get into McPhee's and have the internet going now, you could just move the computer over and that's fine, but I'm just I'm thinking that Spectrum hasn't been occupied in a while, you'll have to get them in there, it's gonna take several days probably for a service call, I would think.
in both situations, okay?
Whereas here, you could plug it in, and go.
Yeah, in both situations, you'd have to call and put the utilities in the town of Salem's name.
Yeah.
That concerns me until we get through the legal aspects of it.
What if you put it, what if just Pat and her computer plugged in my old office? I could take the computer that we bought for $1 out of the way.
Oh, Don,
And, you know, yeah. The court office. Justice. Justice.
and the justice is on. But of course, you were standing up and doing.
I know, but you know,
Yeah,
we can, I know he's using the table, but we can clear the table off and you can use that table as a desk and such as.
No, she's putting it in.
Which ones do you have?
But 6 by.
How we're ever gonna get that out of me, but that's where my money is.
How much stuff do
You
you
can
need? Day-to-day operation.
safe. Those sitting there, combinations right on it. You can use that if you need to.
I wouldn't be. Because I have no clue what anybody's gonna call and want an old marriage license or want a new marriage license.
Yeah, but is it 2 filing cabinets or is it 15?
This is about your ending your tax collecting cycle and being able to send what you need to the county and all that. Is that mostly about what's going on right now?
Right, so now on Tuesday,
Right.
whenever I have to turn the stuff back, I have somebody's on there.
Is there a lot of space out here to put cabinets? Like,
Yeah, no,
Brenda, do you want to see it?
yeah,
the issue's not.
take a while.
if you were out here, right next to the internet, that's already.
I already-
up and then-
Hey,
The only trouble here is, I was talking to Howard about it and you really need to keep this outside though. For the, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, keep it outside overnight, each night. Because he's gonna, when you start it up, it's gonna get fumes in here. I'm just concerned about. Well, I know that, but. What do you got for outlets here? What do you got for outlets? Anything over, nothing? Oh,
Which was minutes.
we can go through the wall for the internet. To do what? Yeah.
He's gonna go over the, and we're gonna go into this.
So,
This is where it goes.
okay, I'm
I
sorry.
said, this is where it goes back to.
Yeah, I mean, until we get the lease sorted out, I don't think we have another option because we don't have money to
I'm
spend for
gonna.
that. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Ready? So in the meantime, come on back to the thing on executive session and we're gonna review some few things and that would include Brenda, Howard, Tom, and myself. And thank you for everybody else.
Can you hear me, Howard?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So they can just go in the other room and Sue. They can just go in the other room. We can stay in here.
How's that?
I, yeah.
I can't hear you right now.
We're gonna keep you on, but we're gonna turn off the recording,
All right.
okay?
And this is gonna have to have two recordings for this, I guess. All right, how do we do this here? Stop recording. Okay.
Common sense eludes me every day.